Yo, hit the sub, hit the bell, let's get into it. So today I'm going to be covering a tag video that I saw recently on a friend of mine's page, OLFACTOFILES. And this tag was so cool, I definitely wanted to be a part of it. I saw her doing her video and I was commenting and talking about it. And I told her, I said, hey, I definitely want to be a part of this tag. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on my tag today. It's called the Take Two tag. This tag will feature a few categories, going over the newest fragrance you have, the oldest, the one with the best memories, your favorite, your most used, and different things like that. I have all of my fragrances lined up here in order so that I can kind of go through this as smooth as possible. I got quite a few fragrances over here, so let's see if we can get through this as easily as we can. The first category up in this particular tag video is newest fragrance. My newest fragrance is from actually Sensual Obsessions. This particular fragrance is a combination of two fragrances. This is ELYSIUM and Anisio's Side Effect paired together. I contacted Kevin over at Sensual Obsessions and I asked him, I said, hey, I have ELYSIUM and I really love that fragrance and I would really love to see how that would smell combined with other fragrances. So I said, could you do a Side Effect from Anisio and pair it with that? And he said, yeah. Paired it up and sent it to me. This is amazing. This is such an amazing, just citrus, gourmand, delicious, musky, kind of woody, sweet, but airy at the same time. It's just, this fragrance is bomb, yo. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is easily a 13. This is one of my favorite from that house that I so far love. This one, just a delicious fragrance. That is my newest one. Next one is my oldest fragrance. Now I'm not sure if they mean old by the date that it was released or old so far as like the oldest in my collection personally. The oldest in my collection, my personal collection, so far as like how long I've had it, is obviously this one. This is before I got into FRANK, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, All Intense, and as you can see, this is definitely one of my most used. But this one is this is the oldest one that I have in my collection. This has been with me for a while now. Most of my fragrances I had recently gotten this year. I've had fragrances off and on, and I've had a lot of oil fragrances that I would bring in off and on throughout the years. But this one was probably the longest one that I've had. I think I've had this one for a few years now. But this is the oldest fragrances this is the oldest fragrance that I have. Now, the oldest as far as date of release would be the Eau de Galan by Galan. This one is a really nice fragrance. Lemon, kind of slightly spicy, floral, airy. This one was released in 1974. I believe this is one of my oldest fragrances. Most of my fragrances are much younger than this, and from like, you know, a lot of indie houses or clone houses and things like that. So mines won't have much of an older date. So that is the oldest one that I have. It's from 1974. The next category is expensive. What is the most expensive fragrance that I've purchased? This one was one of the most expensive ones that I purchased because I purchased it full retail. At the time, it was maybe like $120 for this particular size. But this year, so far as what I've purchased, MANCERA Black Gold, this one was priced at $114. So this was one of the most expensive ones that I purchased this year in 2020. So I'm gonna try to keep it 2020 related as much as I can, as well as being able to fulfill the category. So MANCERA Black Gold, and man, I wore this one yesterday for Christmas. A musky, woody rose. There's some leather in there, some vetiver, some amber. This thing is just so good. I think I'm gonna spray some on now. Actually, I still got some on from earlier. MANCERA Black Gold. Love this fragrance. This is a very good fragrance. I love it. It gives me like a rose vibe. I don't know if rose is in here, but it gives me like a rose vibe though. Next particular category is affordable. what is the most affordable fragrance that I have in my collection that I've gotten in 2020. And I got multiples of this from the same company, but this is probably the most affordable. This is Wholesale Body Oils Super Cologne, and I'm guessing that they take whatever blend, whatever popular fragrance, they take that blend and they'll dump in a bunch of ISOE Super, and that gives it a lot of projection and maybe some longevity. But this one is KILIAN Single Malt, and this is one of the ones from them that I enjoyed. Oh man, super sweet, just boozy, super sweet. It kind of got almost like a caramel vibe to it, like it's almost a caramel in there. Super boozy and sticky sweet. I like this one. But some of their other ones is just a little much. That ISOE Super, at least is what I think that's in there. At least that's what I think is in there. That ISOE Super just gets really just whatever smell that it kicks off in their fragrances, or whatever additive they're putting in there, it gets really it gets really cloying. But this one doesn't really do that. But these are priced at $4 for 30 ml. And they last. This would last on me probably about 8-10 hours on me. Smells great. Projects well, very well. Almost sometimes too good, because you spray it and you just smell it. You know what I mean? It's very strong. But yeah, these are priced at $4.99 on their website. So that's honestly the most affordable, besides the shipping and everything like that. Easy reach. All right. Sensual Obsessions gets it again. Now this one is a bigger bottle. This is their 50 ml. This is their variation of Andy Warhol. Just plum and something spicy. I want to say tobacco, but I could be completely wrong. Oh, all right, maybe nutmeg or coriander or something like that. There's something in here that's kind of spicy. I gotta try this one on as well. This is a very easy reach for me. Love this fragrance. To me, this can be something that I can put on in the winter, in the summer, fall. This is a great fragrance, yo. And I've seen a lot of guys talking about this fragrance. They've been doing an excellent job over there at Sensual Obsessions, man. I've really been going to them and just really trying out fragrances. And it's a way for me to somewhat sample in a much larger size. Like, this is a 50 ml, and I really love this, and I can go through all this and really get a good idea of what to expect or what to look for, or when I purchase Bond Number 9 Andy Warhol. The next category is bottle design. Now I got a few fragrances that have some interesting bottle designs, but I want to go over, I'd say 2, maybe 3, maybe. We'll do these 2 for right now. So this one isn't necessarily like an interesting bottle design, but I just love the design itself. The other one that I got here is just kind of interesting, but just the square, huge matte black sort of finish around the bottom, the wood cap at the top, holds it very sturdy. The whiskey cognac sort of color on the inside with the juice. This is just nice. I love just seeing this in my collection, and just seeing the way that this looks is very appealing to me, just the way that they did this. It reminds me of like them homes, those modern homes that they make that are very square and kind of really modern looking. I don't know why this reminds me of that, but that is just a beautiful design. Now this next one, the design on this one is more so just interesting, and that is Police Icon. I am nearly ashamed that I have this. This is such a weird bottle. What is this even supposed to be? What is the name? What does Police Icon got anything to do with this? Just so weird. Cheap plastic. This is glass, fortunately, but then the top is plastic. It would have been cool if they would have kept this glass as well. This is a raspberry. I believe there's a little bit of tobacco, vanilla in here. It's a different fragrance. I really don't wear this at all. I haven't worn this yet. I think I tried a little bit of it on when I first received it, but I haven't worn that one yet. For this one, delicious, creamy, very lightly sweetened, wood, and vetiver. And ink. There's an ink note in here. ENCRE NOIR is black ink to the extreme. There's a little bit of inky note in here. Vetiver, woods, and just something sweet. Something slightly sweet. I don't know if it's a vanilla. I'm not sure if it's a vanilla or something like that, or what. Or patchouli. But this is just beautiful. Someone said it smells like a book you haven't opened in years. And I get that. And then there's a little bit of sweetness that comes in there with it, very subtly. This is a beautiful fragrance. I love it. And it's very much so affordable too. If I wouldn't have had this one in this collection, this one would have won it, because I think this one was priced at maybe $18 or something like that. Very much so affordable, especially for that size. This is probably a 4 ounce, 3.4. Now we're going on to smallest bottle. What is the smallest bottle of fragrance that you have? Right now, currently, I'm going to say that this is my smallest bottle. I believe this is a 1 ounce. And I got other 1 ounce bottles, but this one just really comes off as tiny to me. This is the Polo Red Extreme. I only got this size because I could have got a larger size. But I only got this size because I got a couple of other coffee fragrances. And I have a Polo Intense oil here. And I have the Polo Red Extreme oil as well. Oh, that is just beautiful. Coffee, ebony wood, and blood orange. I mean, just beautiful, yo. I love coffee fragrances. I love how deep and sensual and sweet and woody this one is. Love this fragrance. Polo Red Extreme. My smallest bottle. My largest bottle would have to be Club de NUIT Intense. Oh man, look at how gross that looks. Give me a second. I'm cleaning this up. I hate how this thing just attracts the worst fingerprint. So the next category is biggest bottle. What is the biggest bottle in my collection for 2020? Biggest bottle in my collection is Club de NUIT Intense. This is a 6.8 ounce bottle. I'm holding it with a towel because this thing attracts fingerprints like crazy, and I just didn't want it to look super gross on camera. But this thing is huge, and there's just no way. There's just no way I'm going through this anytime soon. I don't wear this that often, for one, and it's just huge. It's huge. In comparison to my smallest bottle, let's do a side-by-side comparison. This, and then this. Okay? Yeah. Although this will probably look way better in this size than this does. That's my biggest and my smallest. Also, another one that is kind of a big bottle. If I hold both of these up in comparison, this is a huge bottle as well. This one's more so just tall, but this one's it's a bulky bottle, yo. Like, trying to take this anywhere, that is bulky. So that could be one of my bigger fragrances as well. Best memory. So another fragrance that I used earlier is going to come back up for this one, and that is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. Like I said, this one has a lot of memories attached to it. This is salty, marine citrus, slightly sweet, musky, pepper in here as well. This one there was a lot of long, enjoyable summer nights that are attached to this fragrance. Just hanging out with some good people, good friends, making some good memories, some dope parties, things like that. This fragrance has a lot of great memories attached to it. I love this one. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. So many fun memories. Worth the hype. So there's a couple, and both of these I went over already. This one is just completely worth the hype just because of what it is. And this is the Andy Warhol. I heard a lot of guys in FRANCK, especially on Facebook, talking about this one. And that's what made me want to purchase it. I asked the guy, I said, hey, what's your thoughts on this Andy Warhol that I'm seeing? He was just like, get it. Just buy it. I was like, well, let me get the 50 ml, just to see. Because I wanted to test it out, but I didn't want to test it out and get something small and then have to come back and order a bigger one. So I just ordered the 50 ml, right off the bat, and it's worth it. Completely worth it. Just a beautiful plum, kind of spicy, fruity, juicy. To me, it smells versatile. To me, this is juicy and fruity enough that I can pull off in the summer, in the day, and the summer night, especially the summer night. I feel like this will do excellently at night. I feel like it's strong enough where it can work in the fall, and I feel like you can possibly pull this off even in the winter. It'd just be a fun surprise to have this on. Something as juicy and decadent as this is, but slightly spicy as this is in the winter. I feel like this would be a great surprise. Andy Warhol, to me, is definitely worth the hype. Another one, which was like an obvious one, when I first got into the frag com, and I was hearing Aventus a whole lot, I didn't really know what it was. I actually had an oil form of Aventus back in 2011, and I believe there was before it really like started getting a lot of that hype. I think that was in one of the lower periods. I was noticing that everybody was talking about Aventus, so people started talking at the same time simultaneously about Club de Nuit Intense. So I ended up picking up a bottle of Club de Nuit and testing it out for myself. A very harsh opening, but as this dries down, it is really good. I get tons of compliments whenever I wear this, easily. Tons of compliments. People were hyping this up because it was a great alternative. This is $50 for 6.8 ounces. If you was to ever try and buy 6.8 ounces of Aventus straight up retail, you're going to be looking at, what is it, like $800-900, something like that. Probably a little bit more. I want to say that'll be easy about $800-900. Because the 3.4 is $450, $425, $450. So this one was definitely worth the hype. It was a definite great thing to add to my collection. Plus, this one was a revised bottle that they sent to me. This one was the first one, and this one came a little damaged. The sprayer was a little damaged. It still works, and the juice is still good. It's still in here. But it was just scuffed up really bad and things like that, a lot of scratches. So I told Fragrance.net about it, and they were kind enough to send me a second bottle. So I have, what was that, 13.6 ounces, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'll probably never ever run out of those. A fragrance that is not worth the hype. This one is kind of a back and forth to me, because it's worth the hype, but it lets me realize that the actual original fragrance isn't. So this one is Très Nuit by Armand, and this is their variation of Green Irish Tweed. This one on me lasts a very long time. Super fresh, airy, just oxygen kind of a vibe when you put it on. That lemon verbena. I think there's a little bit of iris in here. This thing is just great. I think there's some ambergris in here as well. This thing is great. And when I looked at the price point for Green Irish Tweed and the price point for this one was probably like $18 or $20. I'm not sure what the price is now, but I know it was like $20 when I bought it. And the price point for theirs is just not worth it. I smelled a sample of Green Irish Tweed, and it smells exactly like this. The trade-off was just not worth it. You know, to me, it wasn't worth the hype. And there, to me, at that point in time when I got into the frag com, there wasn't a whole lot of hype around it. But as I kept hearing about this, there was a lot of hype around this. So as I kept hearing about it, I realized that Green Irish Tweed wasn't worth the hype. So in actuality, this one, I'm not saying that this one isn't worth it. I'm saying that this one made me realize that the original version is not. This one is a great buy. Very cheap, very affordable, should I say. Very affordable, excellent pickup. Favorite fragrance from your favorite house? Lately, my favorite house, anybody who watches my channel knows that my favorite house as of late has been Franck Olivier. Franck Olivier Oud Touch. This is my favorite fragrance from my favorite house. I love this fragrance. Caramel, mandarin, raspberry in the opening, some incense, There's different spices. I believe there's tonka bean, vanilla. There may even be some tobacco in here. Just warm, spicy, sensual, powerful. This fragrance is dang good. I love this, especially for the price. This is probably like $18, and it lasts probably like 13 hours on me. It's just a super jam-packed, powerful fragrance from Frank Olivier. He makes some good juice over there at that house. This is one of my favorite ones. And my most used fragrance of 2020, NIRVANA or by Alt. As you can see, this bad boy has taken a beating. I love this fragrance. This is their variation of Elysium, and Elysium just smells incredible to me. That is good, good, good. It's some citrus, it's woody, it's musky. This is just good, yo. I think there may be some ambergris in here as well, if I'm not mistaken. This one is just good, yo. It's a nice fresh citrus, and then that transition into that dry down, it just gets really woody and musky. And I was pairing this up with a lot of fragrances as well. One of the main things that I was pairing this up with was Baccarat Rouge 540. And just that combination, it was just killer. That is a killer combination. That is my most used fragrance of 2020. And that is it for this video, you guys. That is the Take 2 tag from me. I know mine's incorporated a lot of the same fragrances and things like that. I really enjoyed this tag. This tag was super fun to do. Thank you, Sarah over at OLFACTOFILES, as I appreciate this tag. I appreciate this opportunity to be able to participate in it. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys soon. Peace.